Dave. Today I'm gonna read you the story about the missing unicorn by Templeton Moss. Luke discovers the secret of where magical unicorns live. Luke loved animals. His favorite lessons in school were always about animals. He loved them all, from aardvarks to zebras and everything in between. He loved big scary dinosaurs and cute little bunnies. He loved lions and tigers, deer and antelope, foxes, hounds, snakes, and spiders. And, well, he liked all the animals. Let's just leave it at that. But one day, Luke noticed something. It got him sort of worried. Whenever he looked through his books of animals, or went to the zoo, or learned about animals in school, there was one kind of animal that no one ever mentioned. One animal that he'd never seen so much as a photograph of. A unicorn! Luke was worried. Why wasn't the unicorn in any of these books? Why did his teacher never mention unicorns? Why, when he asked the zookeeper which way to the unicorns, did she just look at him all mean and walk away, muttering under her breath about smart aleck kids? When he asked his dad about it, his dad said that it was because there weren't any unicorns. They were just made up. But that didn't make any sense to Luke. With all the amazing animals in the world, why would someone make one up? It just seems silly. Besides, if you were going to make up an animal, why something as simple as a horse with a horn? No, it didn't add up. Now, in Luke's whole entire life, and that's a whole 6 years, he had never asked his dad a question he couldn't answer, because Luke had one of those smart type dads. So if his dad didn't know, he reasoned that probably nobody knew about unicorns. So he decided it was up to him to solve this mystery. Luke's Grammy and Pop, they lived on a farm, and Luke would visit them sometimes. He was looking forward to it this time, because he had some investigating to do. As soon as he arrived, he began interrogating all the animals to find out what they knew about unicorns. None of them told him anything, which didn't really surprise Luke, since they were animals. It was about the point that he began to feel he hadn't thought this plan through very well. But come on, he's only 6. Why were you talking to those pigs earlier? Asked Luke's Pop that evening. I wanted to find out if they knew anything about unicorns. Unicorns, eh? Luke told Pop all about his investigation. Pop was one of those neat old people who likes to play games and go on adventures. So he said, I've got an idea. How about we can bust this case wide open? So he took Luke into his home office and they went onto the internet and searched for unicorn. According to the information Pop found on the web, unicorns were first written about in Greece before being mentioned in Europe and Asia. They appear in Arthurian legend and even in the Bible. Though the creature changes in appearance depending on culture, his basic shape is always the same. A horse or horse-like beast with at least one long pointy horn on his forehead. Even the British royal family uses a unicorn on its family crest. But fascinating this all was, it didn't tell Luke why he couldn't find any. By bedtime, Luke had learned a lot about the mythology of unicorns, but nothing to help him find a real one. He was very disappointed as Grammy tucked him in. He was beginning to think the unicorns really were made up, and he closed his eyes and fell asleep. Luke? Oh, Luke, are you awake? Luke opened his eyes, and there, standing next to his bed, was a unicorn. With fur so white it seemed to glow. It had a long, shiny tail with a tuft at the end, like a lion. a little beard on his chin like a goat, eyes that twinkled, and of course, a shimmering golden horn in his forehead. "I hear you've been looking for me," said the unicorn. "I thought you were pretend," said Luke. "Oh, not at all. The truth, Luke, is that we unicorns prefer to be left alone. So when the ancient Greeks decided to discover us and started telling the world, we tried to leave and find another secret place to live. But everywhere we went, people had heard of unicorns and were hunting us. We ran through Europe and India and China, all across the world to find some place where we could be by ourselves." "But why do you want to be alone?" "It's just our way, Luke. Everyone is different and likes different things. Some animals, like humans, like to mix with a lot of different animals. Some, like unicorns, prefer a quiet, peaceful life of solitary reflection among our own people. Do you understand?" "I think so. Anyway, after all these centuries, we finally found the place where we can live safely and peacefully without being disturbed by humans or other animals." "Where?" "I'm afraid I can't tell you. It's been a secret all these years. I can't tell anyone for fear of it getting out." Luke begged and pleaded with the unicorn to tell, and even made the biggest promise in the world, saying he'd never tell any man, woman, child, or animal ever as long as he lived. "Very well then," said the unicorn, and he leaned in and whispered in Luke's ear. In hindsight, it made perfect sense. "But you must never try to find us, Luke. You must respect our wishes and leave us alone. You promise?" "Cross my heart. Thank you for coming to see me, Mr. Unicorn. I feel better that I know you guys are okay." "Thank you, Luke, for caring so much about us. Now you have to go back to sleep and I get home. Good night, my friend." Luke kept his promise and never told anyone about the unicorns as long as he lived. And even though he knew exactly where to find them, he never tried to get there and see for himself. He was the only human being in 100 years to see a real live unicorn, and that was enough for him. And even when he grew to be very, very old, he remembered his promise to the unicorns. Which is why they're safe to this day in their secret hiding place. And, oh, sorry, not telling. How do I end this?